March 14, 2012, my son Thomas lost his battle with the disease of addiction. I now belong to a club that no parent should ever belong to. Do you know the signs? Do you know the trends that children are doing in today's world? Do you know the signs and symptoms? Do you know the signs and symptoms of drug abuse? I want to empower and educate Long Islanders by bringing a force of professionals and how to prevent the disease of addiction. Long Island in Crisis. Good evening and welcome to Long Island in Crisis. This show is about the insidious epidemic that is sweeping the country, and it's called the disease of addiction. We need to do better. We need to come together as a society and recognize this as a disease, stop the shame and stigma. And tonight, the show is really dedicated to my two good friends that are here, but Sunday is our second annual Walk for Recovery. There is hope in this insidious disease. Unfortunately, the three of us that are sitting on the stage tonight have given our greatest gift, and that was our sons. And they were lost to this disease, and we stand united to help other people so they never have to walk down this road. And if they are walking, that no one should walk alone. So Claudia Frizzell and Lori Cabanero.
Linda.
How are you? And I'm going to also say that you are part of the FIST Advisory Committee, Families in Support of Treatment. I'm very proud to be on the board of directors too, and this Sunday is our second walk. So I'm going to, so here it is, Belmont Lake State Park at 4:30. There's no entrance fee, there's no fee. We're going to be serving food. Come and be united. Come and share your story, whatever that may be. If you're struggling with a loved one, or you've have lost a family member, or you just don't know what to do with your kids that may be coming into teenagers right now and you have questions, please come and join us. That's what we're there for. Together we can come up with solutions. So
that's what I found last year, which was so amazing. So many families came with questions.
We expected 300 people.
Right.
And we had about 1,200.
Right. Yeah.
It
was amazing.
It was amazing.
Absolutely amazing. And what a pride-filled, supportive community event.
Yes.
Everybody was
family
there.
Event.
Family event. Mm-hmm. Yeah, kids. And just minions, yeah, like us, yeah, who are short. But people in all stages of recovery. Some people who were struggling with recovery, families who have a loved one who struggles or is in recovery. Some in treatment. Some in treatment.
Yes.
It was really, and everything that we wanted it to be and more.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I really look forward
I'm actually
to
connecting. Take this down for now.
Last year was so much fun. Yeah, there we go.
Some of the pictures that, because I know there was here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just incredible.
Right, right.
So I know last year we read off names of those who were lost, and that was an honor, and we all appreciated that. But more importantly, or maybe not more importantly, but just as important were the people whose names we read who were in sustained recovery.
Yes.
Because that gives hope, and certainly for me, like both of you, lost my son. The reason I continue to advocate and support and be involved is the hope, because I know so many people who have been able to sustain their recovery and to break the stigma.
That's it.
Yep.
The shame and stigma is still killing people.
It is.
It's still killing people.
Yeah.
And if parents only knew that while they're standing on the side of a soccer field or a lacrosse field or a football field, that each and every one of them are really going through the same struggles.
Right. Yeah.
But with social media, especially in today's world,
Right.
everyone seemingly has to have these lives that really, quite honestly, I would be interested in having, but they're all, I was going to say a word, but I'll just say BS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, that they're not truthful.
Right.
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 So, but how empowering would it be for 5 friends, 5 boys that are friends, and you know, every kid comes home and says those magic words, but everyone's allowed to do it.
Everybody else is.
But if you were connected to those 4 other parents,
Right.
and you all said, you know, I don't like when they hang out behind Stop and Shop or by 7-Eleven. I don't like that.
Right.
There's going to be 4 other parents that don't like that either.
Right.
But everyone caves thinking that everyone else is okay. So if you come together and you say, oh, by the way, no, you're not going to hang out over there. No, not everyone else is doing, because I already spoke to the other parents and we shut down the boundaries a little bit. You know, just kids push. Kids push, they test, they go.
And then fast forward, and you have parents that aren't speaking to one another because you think you're the only one with the problem.
Correct.
You're the only one that's going through this. Or, again, the stigma, the shame. You don't want to put your kid out there as what people call them. You just try to think that a mother's love or family is going to be able to heal this thing, and it's not the case.
If a mother's love could heal this, there'd be a lot of kids that wouldn't.
R3 be
certainly
walking
R3
around.
boys
R3.
would be alive.
Absolutely.
So it has nothing
And I had
to do
a
with
person
it.
in recovery say that to me.
You know, parenting, good or bad, has nothing to do with it.
No.
Right.
It is just genetics. It is a predisposition. It is a lot of things.
Lack of knowledge, lack of education
Right.
for the parents, the district, your school, everybody. Nobody's on the same
Society.
page, and they have
Society.
nothing
Fear.
in school.
Fear. I mean,
Absolutely.
it is, and fear of so many things. Fear of being judged by your, fear of what you yourself have to face, and
Yes.
which you don't. And by not talking about it, it allows you to, you know, continue in that little make-believe world. You know, fear for your child. You know, it's incredible, but you know, if we break through that, I took my son to, he started his 2nd year of college. Very proud of my youngest son. I'm proud of all my children. I have 3 other children who are earthly bound, hopefully till long after I pass. And so I took my son to college, and I met with the other 2 dads. You know, when we moving the kids in, they're sharing a university apartment. It's gorgeous. And as we were finishing up, I sat the other dads down and said, you know, we should really exchange phone numbers. And they both looked at me and they're like, you know, our kids are in college now. And I said,
Right.
yeah, our kids are in college now and they're hundreds of miles away from us. And I think it would be important. And they're like, wow, yeah, I never would have thought to do that. And
Exactly.
I said, you know what? But it's important that we do. God forbid something happens to one of them. We'll all have a lifeline. We'll all have each other, you know, and you know, my kids, you know, balked at me when they were younger and have gotten used to it now. My son laughed when he came into the room and saw that we were all exchanging phone numbers and kind of teased me about it. And, you know, and the other guys were kind of looking. He just said, listen, you know, there's no getting around my mom. She's going to get their phone numbers. You might as well let her do it in front of us, you know?
Right, right.
Absolutely.
Let's keep it all out there in the open.
Yeah.
You know what? If someone's struggling,
Right.
so whether they're in college or not in college, they're still 18, 19, 20 years old. They're not so worldly.
No.
They may
Yeah.
think that they are.
Right.
But if someone calls up home and says, you know, please don't say anything, but
That's exactly.
this is what's going on.
Right.
You know, a more seasoned adult
Right.
And they say, you know what, that's not a secret that we can keep.
Right.
Right.
So I'm going to bring it forward.
Right.
I certainly would want that done for me.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
I guess, what parents fail to realize is, and I'm a financial advisor, so I deal with a lot of families. Well, I want to stay home when they're young and then I'll go back to school. No. I tell all young parents, go to work when
When
they're
they're
young.
young. Yeah.
Their
You need to be
problems are
home.
little.
Right.
Little people, little problems. It's much easier to get childcare for, you don't want the latchkey if you
Right.
don't have to have the latchkey. Be around for them after school. That's when they need you.
Right.
That is not the time that you say, well, they're in middle school, they're in high school, we're good now.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
No.
No,
That's
it's
the
not
time
over.
you're never
That's
good.
Yeah. Right.
So many pressures on them, so many pressures.
And they're going through so much physically and hormonally, and oh man,
Which we
that's-
all have in common
Right,
as
yeah.
generations go. But
Right,
this
right.
generation's lives move
Oh my gosh.
exponentially way too fast
Yeah.
for them, for me,
Right.
for most people.
Right. Right.
They can multitask on a much different level than any of us
Absolutely.
can.
Yeah.
However, that doesn't mean they should be.
Right.
Because they still have a 12-year-old brain, a 13-year-old brain. They're not mature. They're not adults. Let's stop wishing away
Yes.
Right, those years.
being
Absolutely.
12 or 13 or 14 and wondering what college we're going to get into. Let's just be in 8th grade.
Right.
Just
Right.
be in the moment
Yeah.
and enjoy that moment. Because we're always worried about
What's not?
The
tomorrow
future. Exactly.
or what happened yesterday, and it really doesn't matter. Just focus on today and start to communicate on a much deeper level.
Yeah.
Because that's what they need. And that's what families that come
Right.
to us, right?
Right.
At a moment in time when their world is completely shattered, if they had this conversation long before these kids got into making unhealthy decisions, we'd be in a much different place.
Absolutely.
I
I
find-
wish
Yeah.
that I had found somebody like
To
that-
speak to.
somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the minute I met the younger ones that are in recovery in our group, if you want to say, not necessarily FIST, but like the bus to Albany.
Right.
And I just wish that our sons would have met those people
Yes.
before, and that's what we try to tell the younger parents that are bringing up those little guys.
Yes.
Right.
If you don't know, you can't teach it to them.
Right.
So saying, and then on the same token saying, oh, well, they're only 4 and 5. We're good now. Yeah, now. You don't wait for something to be suspicious to start learning,
And
educating yourself to be able to speak to your children about it.
My biggest thing for elementary school that I really is a passion for me to work on is, it's not that they need to learn about drugs and alcohol.
No.
But they need to learn coping skills and life skills and communication
Absolutely.
skills. So before
Social
we
skills.
identify
Right.
a kindergartner with anxiety,
Right.
because when we were little, it used to be, did you have butterflies in your stomach today?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Now
You're
there's
nervous, you're
labels
anxious
for everything.
Right.
about
Yes.
being called on to read, to being, you're unsure because you're 5, you're 6, you're
Right.
7.
You're in a
That's
different
okay.
setting. Yeah.
But to give kids breathing techniques to say, you know what, when you feel like that, you can, ask to go to the bathroom, calm yourself down with a breathing technique, with a relaxation technique,
Or conversation.
or conversation. Can I speak to you for a moment?
Right.
To the teacher? I'm freaking out,
Right.
Yeah.
But to handle it right then and there, or certainly to be able to come home and say, this is what happened,
Right.
and mom or dad to say, hey, you're safe now. So let's talk about your problem, and if we don't solve it, you're still safe here. And tomorrow you'll be safe in school, and it'll be okay.
Right.
That's what they need to hear all the way up.
Right.
Absolutely.
Instead of saying, I do a lot of work with Kim Laube, and kids will say, she will ask kids, they all have great egos, can take a great selfie, they can do an awful lot of things. Their self-esteem, you would think, is here.
No.
But when she says, adults tell you, let things roll off your back, roll off your shoulders, you don't have to worry about that. How many adults show you how to have self-esteem, self-respect, and the answer is 0.
Right.
You
Right.
can't assume that they know what they're talking about. They may not even know what that means.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They're young.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
our job, right, as parents, as teachers, a village, a community, to
Right.
raise them equipped to handle the world.
Right.
They
Right.
shouldn't have to handle the whole world by themselves.
Exactly.
There are problems they should not have to deal with.
As we found out, we need each other.
Right.
Why shouldn't
Absolutely.
they have a community? I mean,
Absolutely.
that they really need
Support.
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 Exactly.
And not
that's why the
someone
recovery
saying,
community
"Hey,
needs a community.
Right.
Smoke this.
Right.
Oh, you're feeling anxious? We'll take you to the doctor. We'll put you on a little Xanax at 12. No,
Right.
we don't
Right.
do that. We
Right.
don't do that. We need
Yeah.
to, we can go back to
Right.
breathing, exercise, talk, lay down on the couch. Let's lay down, shut the lights off, and watch the Minions.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
It works for
Something.
me.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, I
That's
just
true.
read this really good article on how we need to let our kids play outside more. I mean, we stopped doing that out of fear for the unknown and, you know, fear
Let
of
me tell you
strangers
something.
And
And
technology.
whatnot.
And technology.
Right, yeah.
But the biggest thing was fear. Fear of something happening
Yes.
to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not afraid of them going to school and being with a bunch of other kids that are going to start asking them to smoke pot. So here's my frustration, and it's a big frustration.
And
You're
I could
freaking allowed to let them walk to school,
Right.
but they can, you know,
Can't
but you're
ride their
not-
bicycle.
But we're not going to talk about drugs and alcohol because that's not happening in our community.
Right.
Well, the last time I really heard, thank God and by the grace of God, that kids are getting kidnapped around my neighborhood is this many.
Right.
0.
Right.
Right.
So you go out with a friend, not too many people are picking on you when you're in a group with your
Right.
friends.
Yeah.
So, and how many people in your own neighborhoods really, honestly, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if we go back to the days when, you know,
Simplify.
People are
when
outside.
Simplify.
yeah, but we got home from school and my mother would say, be home by 5. She didn't ask you where you were going. She didn't ask anything. Bunch of kids pulled up, you got on your bike, you left.
Right.
Right. Right.
I used to set my clock back, especially if I was late. But if I was someplace that I wasn't supposed to be, she already got she was waiting out front with,
Oh,
with the
yeah.
wooden spoon half the time.
Right.
Where were you?
Right.
Huh?
Yeah. No, it's true.
What do you
Because
mean?
someone had already called
Right.
and said, you know what, Lori, you're not supposed to be on this side of town. What are you doing here? Does your mother know you're here?
When you walked from the bus stop to home, how many neighbors did you pass?
Right.
And if you were acting out of like a nut, like you shouldn't have been, disrespectful, whatever, by the time you got home,
Your parents knew.
they knew.
Your parents knew, but you got yelled at by the other 3 neighbors.
Well, that's
Right,
true
you
too.
know,
You got a
yes,
talking
yeah,
to.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
yeah.
And you didn't answer them back, did
right.
you?
No. You're right. You're absolutely
dare.
right.
You wouldn't dare answer them back.
dare.
So simplify. Again, simplify. If we all look out for each other, that
Yeah.
doesn't mean, you know,
But just like, you know, breaking the stigma and change,
Yes.
it, you know, it doesn't happen overnight.
No.
no,
you
it
know?
doesn't.
No.
Yeah, and we really need to talk more about that, you know.
Yes.
Talk more, you know, I find that, you know, even if I go into a store, somehow or other, I always wind up on the same conversation, you know.
Simplifying things.
Simplifying things
It's true.
and you know, spending more time. And maybe because we have a unique an unfortunate reason to have a better appreciation for
Life changes
in an instant.
In
In
an
an
instant.
instant. You
Right.
know?
in
Absolutely.
an instant.
Working at the library, and you work with the public too, you know, and you see what goes on.
There
I
isn't a-
can't keep my mouth shut.
Right, right.
I
will
can't
wind
keep
up-
my mouth
yeah,
shut either.
I
Right.
will wind up saying, you know, and
I
talking
don't
to
want
the
to
little
keep my
kids.
mouth shut.
Yeah, I don't want to keep my mouth shut
Right,
either.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So smile at one
Yes.
another. Does that hurt anything?
Right.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
People are surprised when
true.
you look them in the eye and say, "Hi." How
You know,
was
the
your day?"
greatest thing, especially when I used to go into the city for work, the greatest thing that you can ever do is, you know, when someone looks good or I like someone's dress, I tell them.
Comment. Yeah. Yeah.
And this is what happens. It goes from this to, oh, thank you.
Right.
You just set them up to have a great day.
Yes, you did.
Did that cost me anything?
Right, right.
A few minutes.
Yeah.
Not even.
Yeah.
Right,
Hey, you know what? Like that dress today.
right, right.
And that person leaves with a step.
And it's also
You know?
a chain reaction,
Yes.
Right.
you know, because I've
Yes.
noticed it. I mean,
She
it
will
happens.
she
Yeah,
will pass
yeah.
that on to someone else too.
And if they and we used to have to do it, right, when we were in school.
Yes.
You know, the please, the thank you, good morning, and all that stuff. So
I went to Catholic
Two.
school, so if you didn't say it in unison, you said it a lot of times.
this is true.
Good
but it's
morning,
yeah.
Sister Ann Richard.
Right. Well, that might take a whole different turn in this conversation. but yeah, it is true, and they learn so much. They're sponges.
Yes.
If they can learn a language, if they can learn, why
If
can't
they can learn bad behavior,
They can
certainly can learn good
That's
behavior.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, we just need to just simplify. I appreciate everyone needs to work in the house. Mom and dad are working now.
Right.
Right.
So I often say too, are you working for what you need or for what you want?
Right.
'Cause
Right.
those are two different questions.
Right.
So
True.
it's and please, anyone that's watching, we are not judging, criticizing, or
Right.
anything else.
Right.
We're just sharing
Our experience. Right.
Exactly. But, I'm all for giving opportunity to children, especially if they show an interest.
Right.
But because a little girl likes dance, doesn't mean she needs to go 6 days a week
Right.
and break your bank.
Right. Right.
You get to pick one class. You get
Right.
to pick one sport.
Right.
You get
And
to
that solves
pick
a
one
multitude of
thing.
problems.
Yes,
Indeed.
Because it isn't instant gratification that I want it, I get it, and and that's it.
right.
You know, and with anything, whether it be
So
that
for creating,
yeah,
what is my passion? Is
Right.
my
Right.
passion this? Maybe I'll try basketball, and next year I'll try wrestling.
right,
It's the same sport, different season. I can't do both.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you're right. What
So
am
it's
I?
also teaching them boundaries that they can't have everything.
And their
Exactly.
anxiety
Yeah.
level won't be all that up
Right,
because
yeah.
they're not doing 20 things at one
their
time.
anxiety, but mom and dad's too.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
So
they feed off each other.
You talk to parents. Well, you don't understand. I have to. I go, but who created their schedule?
Right, right.
Well, I don't want to say no is a really good word.
Mm-hmm.
And it needs to be taught.
They want to hear it.
Yeah.
Right.
They really,
have
really do.
They,
Yeah.
they need
Yeah.
to
So,
know
you
that
know-
there are boundaries.
A 2-year-old
Yeah.
will run out into the street if you allow them to.
Right.
They're going to push through little
Of
boundaries,
course.
but kids like to know, you know what? No, you're not doing anything on Sunday. Sunday's family day. Let
Right.
me tell you, they'll be like,
Right. Yeah.
thank you.
Right.
Can I lay on the couch and watch cartoons?
Right.
Yeah.
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 There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
That's important time too. Refractory time, body heals, mind rests, nothing to think of.
Right.
Just, I'm safe in this house,
Right.
right?
I need to go
Absolutely.
back to taking that one day. I know when my younger two were in school, from elementary right on through to might have been 10th grade, our school district really supported taking one day a week, no electronics. And, and then you'd have to, whatever, bring in a note from your mom, what you did, or write an essay on what you did, or a paragraph, or take a picture, or, so we did board games on Friday nights, and I have to say that we still do.
We do too.
Yeah.
Family
I
fun
love doing
night.
that. Family
Yeah.
fun night, yeah.
Yeah.
And we do the triple S's, soup, salad, and sandwiches,
We used to
and
do
it was
backwards
great.
dinner. So
Right.
my
Yeah.
kids love backwards dinner. We're having
Right, yeah.
ice cream sundaes for dinner.
Right,
If
yeah.
you're hungry after that,
Right.
we'll worry about it then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We
Maybe
didn't
we'll
have
have
too
a
many
hamburger. Right,
arguments
yeah,
or
right.
waffles and
Yeah,
ice
yeah.
cream.
Yes.
Something just
Right.
out of the blue, not going to hurt them,
Right.
not going to make them unhealthy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
something different.
Right. Right.
Movie night,
Right. Yeah.
just something different.
Whatever. Sit out
Doesn't
on
have
the
to
lawn.
cost anything.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you know, it doesn't, a vacation, a time together as a family doesn't have to cost
Well, what do they
anything.
call it these days? A staycation?
Staycation.
Just stay home and
Go to
Hey,
the
I
beach
did a
or
lot
go
of
camping.
staycations.
Anyway,
Well, we,
you
we
know.
camped every
And
year
you know
at
what?
Montauk.
Right, yeah, sometimes those are the most fun.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
those are the best.
Yeah.
The best.
No itinerary, you know?
No TV,
Yeah.
no phones, no anything.
Nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
They went to bed when it got dark out,
Right, yeah. Got up when it got light out.
Yeah.
Very late.
true.
and they
It's true.
love that.
Yeah.
But I love also, I've spoken to parents that have a docking system for
Right.
all electronics, and when come in the house,
You
that's
dock
where
'em.
they go.
Yeah,
There's no cell phones at dinner. There's no,
yeah,
Right.
you know,
Right.
we're home, we're a family. We know where everyone is.
right.
If your friends want to call,
That starts at the top, though. That
Yeah.
starts at the top. And I
Absolutely.
have definitely been guilty of, you know,
without a doubt.
you know, bringing my phone while I'm cooking dinner and I'm answering texts or emails, and my kids will call me out. You know, what are you doing,
Yeah.
Mom? I'm not
Yeah.
supposed to have a cell phone in
It's
the
so
kitchen.
true. You know,
and you're right. You're absolutely right.
You're
you
absolutely
know?
right.
Yeah.
So I've put boundaries too, because everyone knows that you're attached to your phone.
Right. Yes.
I have clients that
I'm not.
will
We both
will
know.
Yeah,
well,
except
you're
for
not
Lori,
attached.
yeah.
They'll text me, they'll send
Yeah.
me emails, and on Sundays,
Yeah.
I don't answer anything.
Good for you.
I don't. Of course, my friends, my family,
Right.
that's different.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
But
Right.
I'm not answering you.
Extracurricular stuff.
Yeah.
That's
I'm not
it's
answering.
No. Yeah.
And I've had people say, you know, I texted you on Sunday. I go, yeah, I know.
I found it Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
go, well, I go, no, I was with my family.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that surprises some people, but no. I could have answered you, yes.
Right.
I chose not to.
Right.
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 And that's okay.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because when we didn't have those stupid phones,
You didn't.
you worked Monday through Friday.
Right.
And when you left the office, you left
That
the
was it.
office.
God did not mean for everybody to be in touch 24/7.
No, he
Right.
didn't.
That to this extent.
Right.
Really.
Right.
No. Not at all.
Absolutely.
You get in a lot of trouble with texting too. There's
You
no
can't-
emotion.
There's no emotion, right? It can be
You know-
very misconstrued.
Right. And you could start a problem, or, you know, people think it's just no big deal if I show up when,
Misunderstand.
yes, a
Right.
lot of misunderstood comments.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Too many misunderstood comments.
And with the younger ones, it's worse, right?
Yes.
Because they take it literally. Or us older people, when they put lyrics up, and I think, oh my God, what's happening? And it's a lyric from a song.
Yes.
And that is my bad. I'm like, and right away, it's like, I private message them, what's going on? Mrs. C, it's just lyrics. I said, well, you don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Let me know before you do that. Red flag me.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
stuff like that. Oh, that's happened many times. Oh, gosh.
Well, you worry. You
You
worry.
worry.
Yeah, right, of course.
There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
worrying either. They secretly like that you worry.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure of that.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about
Silly.
Sunday. So Sunday
Sunday.
at 4:30, and we will again. The DJ is going to be there.
Yes.
We have food. We will have resources
Right.
for treatment, for prevention. We have children's face painting, and Claudia.
And Claudia, I was just going to say.
Children and Claudia face painting.
I love the face painting.
Some projects for them to do. So
Oh, good.
So,
Yeah, yeah,
yep.
yeah.
It's a beautiful park.
It is a really, really
It really is a beautiful park.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes,
And-
it's going to
and,
be
you
a lot
know,
of fun.
Just to be around other families and network
And out in nature.
support, and out in nature. Yes, exactly.
On a
I mean,
beautiful
on a
fall
beau-
day,
right.
and
It's
it
what
will
you
be
should be
full.
doing
Well,
on a
it gives,
Sunday day.
it also
Yeah.
gives families that are going through it like you said before, not the fear, but the hope.
Right.
Yes.
It doesn't
Yes,
have
yeah.
to wind up our story.
Right. Good.
Absolutely.
You know, recovery is not only a possibility, I say all the time, it's a reality. We're meeting people all the time
Yes,
that they're doing it.
with sustained.
Exactly.
Sustained.
Is it a
Long
day at a
term.
time?
Yeah.
Sure. But
It's a
it's
minute
still,
at a time
it can be
sometimes.
done. Exactly.
Right.
Right. It's, you know, and that's like we all agree, there's not enough of it in general, but here.
Well,
It's
And
just not
connecting
enough
with
of
other
that connecting.
families, you know, and really networking, exchanging phone numbers. I mean, I met a lot of people at last year's that I had met through Facebook and exchanged phone numbers. And, you know, we've met for coffee. Lori and I have done that with a couple of, you know, people that we've met, or, you know, hey, I'm going shopping, you know, you want to meet me for lunch or whatever. And having that is really, really nice, you know.
Without a doubt.
And you know, so this is another opportunity to, you know, meet more people and have more coffee.
Or lunch or
whatever.
More support.
Yeah, we'll talk more
yeah.
about
Support.
Sunday, but we'll
Yeah.
be right back after this message.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hot hair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
You smell so good, I won't have to bathe the next 2 weeks. Anything. So, here, laugh a little harder. All right?
I will take him. I would be proud to show you off, you little old weirdo man.
Get a new sweater. The worst dressed man here tonight.
Right? Look, get that laugh, and get it in there tonight because nobody else is gonna laugh like her. She's under drugs, all right? You smell so good, I won't have to bathe the next 2 weeks. Anything. So, here, laugh a little harder. All right?
I will take him. I would be proud to show you off, you little old weirdo man.
Get a new sweater. The worst dressed man here tonight.
Right? Look, get that laugh, and get it in there tonight because nobody else is gonna laugh like her. She's under drugs, all right?
Welcome back to Long Island in Crisis. So we're discussing September 25th, this Sunday, Belmont Lake State Park in Babylon, West Babylon?
North
Babylon.
Babylon. North Babylon.
Right
Yeah.
off the Southern State Parkway.
Easy access.
Really easy access. It's at 4:30. There's no entrance fee,
Right.
so that there is zero
parking.
cost. You can bring your own picnic if you so choose to. You can also feel free to go there earlier if you
Right.
want to spend more time outdoors. But we will have some food and drink and dessert and all cookies, Laura.
Cookies.
Right,
Cookies.
yeah.
We have cookies.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it is going to be a great day. So a little bit different than last year. We won't be reading individual names. We're going to recognize who has lost their battle and who are still struggling. And we will do our walk, which is,
Inside the park.
it's inside the park.
Nice.
It's inside the park. Going to go around the lake and
Beautiful
around.
area,
So it'll be a
yes.
nice
Oh,
really
leisurely,
nice
Yes.
walk, and then we will celebrate those in recovery. DJ,
Right.
going to be there. Music, so music, good food, good people, you know,
And resources.
family
and
day.
resources.
Yeah.
Resources for
Can't
everyone.
ask for better than
and fun for kids.
Right. Yeah.
know.
That's and the
What a
perfect
better
place-
way to spend a Sunday
Right.
afternoon, especially if you have little ones that they run ragged,
Right.
and you get them home, you bathe them, they're tired, and they go to bed.
Tired,
Right,
ready
right,
for bed.
right. Yeah.
Right?
Nice way
Yeah.
to start
Nice
the week.
way to start the week.
Absolutely. Day of
Nice way
community.
to end the weekend and start the school week.
Right.
Wake up
Absolutely.
invigorated with hope for.
Yes,
Hope for life.
this being Recovery Month, this is a perfect
Yes.
way to really celebrate and
So we
support
can-
the families and.
So we have
yeah.
Mr. Anthony Rizzuto, who is the executive director of FIST, right?
Right.
And this is such a great just montage. Thank you for
Yes.
doing that.
Oh,
You know,
you're
of,
very
of what we did last year, really.
Yeah.
You know, a lot
we
of
really did have a lot of fun.
We had
That
so
was-
much fun.
Yeah, that
Really
was
so
it was
much
so
fun.
wonderful.
and
yeah.
you know, and the best thing is there's no judgment there.
No.
There's no judgment.
Yes. Yeah.
There's no shame. There's no stigma. Just support,
It was-
love.
and so relaxed.
So
You know,
relaxed.
and even when we walked, there was you know, people who weren't at the walk
Joined in.
who joined in when we
Yes.
told them why we were walking, why we were there.
That happened
And-
at Fed Up this year.
Yeah, really.
There is.
Yes, there
It
was
is.
quite
That
a
always
few.
happens when
Yes.
they're walking
Yeah,
along.
yeah, I was-
And I think that's
happy.
great. And there'll be other people in the park.
There's
and,
no
you know,
one in this world that is not touched by the disease of addiction,
Absolutely.
whether in their immediate family, their
Right.
peripheral family, or their friends.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is touched by it.
Right.
And if someone says they really are not, that they would be lying to themselves.
Right.
Not lying to me. It doesn't matter to me.
Right.
Does it? You know,
Right.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Denial, that's for sure.
But I mean, it really was something. Look at
Yeah.
this.
Right, yeah.
I mean, we had so many people to turn around and see that sea of people
Yes.
holding
Right,
signs,
yeah.
holding everything
Mhm.
in honor of their loved one or
in
whatever the
support
case
of
may
or
be.
celebration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
celebration in support.
Right.
We all have to support each other,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
you know, and especially
And that's what-
someone in early recovery
Yes.
needs support, but
The
so does
family
the
needs
family,
Mhm.
and they need the strength not to enable.
Right.
You know, there's a lot
It's the
that goes on
education
there.
that goes along there.
Yeah.
You know, everything that you thought you were doing, you know, everything that you do for a 5-year-old, you shouldn't be doing for a 15-year-old or an
Exactly.
18-year-old, and certainly not a 30-year-old. you know.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
But that's something that it's
it-
hard when you're in the grips to
Right.
see.
Yes,
You know.
it is.
If you love somebody, you want to help somebody.
but when
I
they-
wouldn't let a perfect stranger walk in front of a train. I'd be damned, excuse me, if I'd let my loved one.
Right.
And that's what you see addiction being. This is going to kill them.
Yes.
This train is going to kill them. So you want to stop them from doing that. It's probably not some of the right things that we've done. But that was then. This is now, and these people have
when the
to.
person struggling
No.
is happy with your behavior, you're enabling.
That's
Right.
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 Yes.
Right.
Pretty
It's
easy
true.
way to put it.
It's pretty true.
And they
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
angry and frustrated with the boundaries, the healthy boundaries that you establish.
Right.
You're doing exactly the right thing. And it hurts.
Oh,
Yes.
sure.
Yeah,
It
it's
hurts
hard.
family members to do
hard.
that. It hurts to put those boundaries in place. But the disease drives them to press every button
Right.
inside of you
Right.
to bring you to a place where you don't even remember why you were having
Exactly.
a discussion with them.
Right.
So they want you off balance thinking that you did something to them.
That disease is a master manipulator. And
If And you know, I tell young people, I tell all people in struggling in treatment, if you could harness the mental capacity that you have to manipulate and do for evil, for good,
Oh, it would be awesome.
Right.
trouble is the
Yeah.
gift. And Jim Cusick, who unfortunately we just lost, but 67 years in recovery, wrote that book, Trouble is the Gift.
Right.
If you can get over, you know,
Get on the
Yeah.
other
disease,
side.
if you can get on
yes.
the other side, there's nothing you can't do
Right.
Yeah.
because you face the devil.
Right. And there's you know, and I've seen this saying all over, and it's in so many different words, but, you know, there is no more courageous and strong person than anyone who has battled addiction and made it through to recovery.
Yes.
And it's so true. And
And it's a daily battle for the rest of their lives.
right.
Case in point, Philip Seymour Hoffman,
Right.
a few years ago,
Oh,
right?
man.
22 years in recovery. 22
Unbelievable.
years in recovery.
Right.
Money, power, certainly availability to any treatment that
Right.
he could have asked for,
Right.
and a young family.
Right.
And if anyone dares to think that he didn't care or value,
Right.
Right. Right.
the person Philip Seymour Hoffman cared and valued his family.
Absolutely.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, the addict,
Right.
didn't care
Right.
about anything. There's two different people there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
one
who
thing.
won?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Who won?
Yeah. That's one
You know,
thing
we've-
that we
we've
really
lost
need to make clear
Some
to
great,
people.
yes.
Yeah,
I
is
always
that
say it.
there are
Thomas,
two-
my son, I
yeah.
miss every second of every day.
Absolutely.
Right. Right.
Thomas, the addict, if he was standing here, don't miss him any second of any one day.
Right. Yeah.
He was a mean, manipulative thief.
But that's a disease
That's
that
a
takes
disease,
over. Yeah.
right? It takes
yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's, you know, that is something I think families struggle with
They
because
do.
they see that child. They see that really loving, creative, intelligent, sensitive
They see the
person.
face
They see the face.
of that
Right,
child.
right. But you know, you're actually dealing with the exorcist. You know,
Yeah.
you are dealing with
the
someone
devil
whose
himself.
head is going to spin,
Yep.
and they're going to.
And, you know, and
Spew
let's
evil
face
at
it,
you.
I know you. So your moms, when you look at your kids that are older now, what do you see?
Oh.
I still see
I
face
still
of
see.
a baby.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I see
Yeah.
that.
There's no
2-year-olds,
parent that
you know.
doesn't
Right.
see that.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when they're looking at you and they're giving you the,
Mom.
trust me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
everything inside of you wants to believe that.
Yes.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to believe.
And
with
I think
every
wanna
ounce
I,
of
believe
you.
in every-
moms do that, but I think I know within our situation, dads
Dads do
give
it
them
too.
the benefit of the doubt. Well, my particular husband, benefit of the doubt all the time. You know, and that is just and we were around. Well, in my family, I was around it more, so I think I knew what was coming, things like that. Working all day, coming home, eating, pretty much having to start all over again. Not aware, like, you
Yeah.
know, we get. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying a lot of fathers don't have that. They do. But, you know, I would think that more so the moms,
Well, you know,
because
I-
we're
and-
around
and
more.
Maybe because we're moms, but we've also carried that child.
Right.
And I don't really care who you are. Most moms, right,
Right.
know their kids better than they know themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's just, it's inbred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that
For lack of,
connection.
it's
Yeah.
that connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's that forever connection.
Right. Right.
I used to know before my kids started to cry. I would wake up right that second before
Right.
they made a noise.
It's
Because
true.
you're just,
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
that intuition.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a bond that's really hard to,
Oh,
It is
yeah.
hard to break.
Yeah.
But you know, if you really trust your intuition, and this is something
for
you know,
everyone to think
yeah,
about.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, because if you really take time to quiet yourself and really listen to that intuition, you see signs that you ignore
Yeah.
because
Yes.
you don't want to see. You don't
Yes.
want to have to deal. You don't want to say, oh, you know, is he or is she using? Is it, you know?
There's
Are
signs,
they
because when you
high?
go back in
Yes,
time,
right.
Oh, yeah.
you will
But if you take
rationalize.
the time
Yes.
and, you know, the opportunity, because that is an opportunity, you know,
to have a discussion
to have a
long before
discussion
we're down a
long
really
before you're
bad
down.
road.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. You know, so I really feel like bringing this out, bringing the awareness out, having this community walk right in the middle of Long Island. I really hope that people
Take
you know,
advantage.
take advantage of that. you
Could
know,
we talk a
come and get
little bit about
education.
the interfaith
Absolutely.
festival?
Oh,
'Cause
Absolutely.
that's like
yeah, yeah.
on the same.
On
I
the same,
It is.
on the
Yeah.
same.
It is.
Absolutely.
You know?
And more on the, yes, it's all in the same vein. So I have.
So this is Sunday.
That's Sunday, September 25th.
Sunday, this coming Sunday.
Sunday.
Be there.
Be there. Come say
We'll
hello
be
to us.
there.
Yes, come say hello to us.
So why
right?
not come?
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
course.
Of course, yeah. We're going to be there.
There'll be cookies and
There'll be
minions.
cookies and minions.
And hugs.
And hugs. A lot of hugs.
Yes, yeah.
A lot of hugs.
I look forward to the hugs. So we had a flyer.
We did. We had
Oh,
flyers.
okay.
And they're
So
right over there.
on a month, almost exactly a month from Sunday, October 22nd, at the Little Portion Friary, which is Hope Academy now, owned Father Frank and Hope House Ministries, Father Francis and Hope House Ministries. We are having an interfaith festival of hope and healing. Thank you. From 1 to 7. There'll be 3 separate sessions of classes, which will include Tai Chi and drum circle and yoga, mindful
And those are all,
meditation.
those
Everything
are
is
all
free.
alternative
All alternative.
that work.
Right. Yes. Absolutely.
That work. And I will
Yep.
tell you, I've been practicing yoga for about 10 years now.
Right.
Maybe a little bit less. But losing both my parents,
Yes.
getting divorced, and then losing my son, I don't know where I would be without knowing my breath,
Right.
how to steady myself, how to go to a place inside of me that is safe and is
Right.
calm.
And that's what this day is all about,
Yes.
showing us all these alternative methods to help deal with our levels of stress,
Yes.
help deal with our daily, mindful meditation, how to be mindful in the moment, how to enjoy today, this moment, this hour. We also have Brother Mark is going to do a class on forgiveness and letting go.
So important.
Addiction and grace. We have oneness blessing from woman Teresa, who was trained in India. I believe that's Hindi or Buddhist. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. And I have Judith Grant coming from Pathways, who's going to do a talk on one heart and one healing and empowering yourself and self-care.
Let's just stop on self-care. Self-care, no one does for
No.
themselves.
Right. And
So that's not being selfish.
right.
That's not being anything. I used to tell my kids, because I've always worked out at home, what I'd say if I was working out at 6 o'clock in the morning, what time is it? Mommy's time.
Yeah, right.
Why? If mommy's happy, everybody's happy.
Right.
It's as simple as
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
Carve
right.
out time for yourself, because if you're not your best,
You can't give your best.
you can't
Right.
give your best. You
That's
can't
exactly
give
right.
to others
Yeah.
what you don't have.
Right.
So it's not selfishness, it's not anything.
No.
It is in the human nature to become very angry that you're doing for others when you haven't, but who do you have to
Right.
blame?
Because
When
you
don't-
give, and
Right.
then you're
Right.
empty.
Then you're empty.
So we have 3 different sessions. There'll be several classes giving during each session, 1:30 to 2:30, 2:45 to 3:45.
What time does it start in the morning?
Starts at 1 o'clock. 1
Okay.
o'clock in the afternoon. For those of you that don't know the area, parking will be at the Rose Caracappa Senior Center.
We'll put
on
this up on the
347.
website and the Facebook page, so it'll
Great.
be there.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent. And there's a place where you can register. There'll also be music, 3 different faith-based music, and then we're going to end with interfaith prayer and candlelight vigil. So
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's
really
1
looking
till?
forward. 1 till 7.
7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the closing prayer will probably start around 5:30, 6 o'clock. Yeah, so that we can get everybody back to the
Parking.
their homes
Yeah.
and their parking.
And we also have this Saturday night, though, at Christ
Yes.
Church.
Right. Oh, the 24th.
In, yes,
Yes. in
on
Port
Old Town
Jeff.
Road in Port Jefferson Station in New York, and
Right.
that's
Beautiful.
that's a beautiful night.
Yes, it's
Yes.
a
So
really
it's-
lovely night. I think
Yes.
this is our 3rd year there. Fist will be participating.
Yes.
It is 3rd year. This
So
is the 3rd
it's
year.
it's
Yep.
a story of recovery. It's a story of
Faith,
faith.
spirituality.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a special
Yeah.
place.
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
That's
Yeah.
a special
It
church.
is. It is. Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
I'm looking forward to it again. I really am. Yeah.
It is amazing. We always feel so rejuvenated after that evening. It's just incredible.
Yes.
Really, really.
That's
an
a, that's a
incredible
that's a
evening.
good one. So
Yep.
we mentioned that. That's Saturday
Yes.
night. Then we have the walk on Sunday night.
Sunday, right?
And then we also have Rock and Recovery Dance. So for everyone that's in recovery, this is a
Right.
free event, September 30th, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Friday, September 30th, St. Peter's Church,
Right.
Lutheran Church in Huntington,
Huntington.
Station. And free admission,
Right.
dinner,
I mean,
always got
mentioned
food,
all these events are free. And
Yes.
open to the public. Yes.
food,
Yeah. Right.
dancing,
Yes. Prizes, raffles.
prizes,
Yes,
raffles.
yeah. Mhm.
Yep.
Absolutely. And then
Scholarships awarded.
Scholarships. This Tuesday, I don't think we have a flyer, but this coming Tuesday, the 27th, is the
Generation.
Generation
Found,
Found.
Through Long Island Recovery Association is
Showing the
sponsoring-
movie.
Showing the movie in Deer Park. I believe that's at 7 o'clock.
7.
Yes, I saw the
right.
movie already at the Cinnamon Arts.
Cinema Arts.
It's very, but I have to say this, and you'll see the movie, and it's on a recovery high school in Texas, which is
Right.
phenomenal what they do there. Every high school in the United States should be a
run
recovery high
as-
school.
We just said this. We
Young
just-
people who
yes.
were in recovery and those that were not, I met with, and they both said, but Mrs. Carbonaro, why isn't every high school like a
Right,
recovery high school?
Yeah.
They would be so much.
Because you suckers want to drink and smoke. That's why. Well, that, yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, let's
Yeah,
let's call them out on
Yes,
that.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
absolutely true.
Yes, yeah.
You know?
We had this conversation. We met with Father Frank this week, and that was exactly what we all said.
Yeah.
was that
Without a
they-
doubt.
Yeah.
They should be everywhere. They should be all of them. And God bless. And I think it's great what they've done, and they've created a really great environment.
but
and
you
I
know-
think that it brings out, and I don't know because I haven't seen the film.
Yes, it's a very powerful
Right.
film. However, and that school, I went and looked it up for my own edification, but
Right.
let's call it $1,000 a month. Let's call it $15,000 for the year. On Long Island, if I'm paying the kind of taxes that I pay for my school district, that is not available to a lot of people.
Right.
Right.
Okay?
And, it
And
would
if we
be a
talk
lot
about
more-
life or death,
Right.
Right.
every high school should be a recovery high school.
Right.
Because every child is entitled to a safe place to go to school
Right.
with to have the opportunity not to feel that they have to partake
Right.
in a drink or a drug to fit in.
Right.
And let's face it, they're awkward, they're an awful lot of things.
Right.
We need to teach them how to deal with one
Right.
another.
But on that note, taking that one step further, staff, teachers, and administration and support staff have to understand and have to be taught about the disease of addiction and how to deal
True.
with
Well,
the
that's
people
about that's
who
with
are
everything, yeah.
the person who has the disease and with others who will stigmatize them.
Right.
Because I can tell you, I've had some
There's
talks
some
with
teachers
families
that refuse
yeah,
to be trained in Narcan.
I know.
And their administrators say, you really wouldn't administer Narcan to someone who was dying?
Wow.
That's a question that
Yeah.
you would really have to soul search for.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, so would I
Yeah.
worry about a lawsuit or saving a person's life?
Right.
Bring it on afterwards. You know what? I'm not
Yeah.
going to worry about
And
that. It
we have
wouldn't
the
even
Good
be a
Samaritan
thought.
law, which
Yes.
we've looked into. The Good Samaritan law definitely
Protects-
protects you.
Protects you in those
that-
situations.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. Because we just had our staff at the Commonwealth Library trained in Narcan, and that was the first issue that came up, was that some of the staff was worried that they would be held responsible.
Good
Right,
Samaritan
right.
law covers if you're in a group, especially our young people, if they're in a group and,
Right.
and someone does collapse,
Right.
alcohol poison, whatever the reason is, it
Right.
doesn't really matter. Make the phone call.
Right.
And you guys don't
Get
have to leave
services.
your friend
Right.
alone.
Yes.
And you don't have to,
Worry
abandon
about-
ship
Right.
and leave them all by themselves.
Right.
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 You can stay there. You're not going to be persecuted.
Right.
You're not going to be prosecuted, persecuted. You may be in a little trouble when you get home with
Right.
your parents,
Right.
but
Right.
that's
Right.
okay.
Save a life, yes.
Save a life.
Mm-hmm.
You should be in a little trouble. That
Right.
means you're loved.
Right. Right.
So, and then
And
your,
then I
your
have
event
my,
on the 22nd.
yes, October 22nd, my old sorority is doing a fundraiser for Thomas's Hope. So,
Awesome.
you know.
And that's
so
in Oceanside?
That's in Oceanside.
on
It's
October.
actually East Rockaway.
Oh,
So
East
it's Michael's
Rockaway.
Porthole.
Right.
Dinner, DJ, the whole 9 yards, and raffles, baskets, everything. It's just a fun night to support so that Thomas's Hope can do everything that Linda Ventura has in mind for it. And that's going to take an awful lot of money.
Right.
So
right,
we work
right,
very
right.
small
Yes.
with
right,
big
yeah. Right.
with big
big ideas.
thoughts.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah,
yeah.
But one day at a time. It'll happen.
Yeah.
I don't, maybe I don't back down so easy. So
You think?
we just do
But that's
that.
that
That's
is to your
a beautiful-
credit. To
Yes.
your credit.
What do they say when you
Absolutely.
shoot for
Yeah.
the moon? The worst thing can happen is you grab a
Fall-
star on the
you
way
fall-
down.
You
Right.
fall
Yeah,
among the stars.
That's it.
That's
That's,
That's
right.
it, and that's a good place to
Aw.
be.
I, don't
I used to
remember
tell
hearing
my
that.
kids that.
Yeah.
Shoot for the moon. You
Yeah.
fall among the stars. You've done a great job.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
I love that.
And it doesn't. You know what? A lot of times, I'm going to share. On Friday, I was up at the villa and I spoke to the fellowship, and one of the dads found out that they lost their son right when I left. So there's no coincidences that God had me there on that day. And that father, when his wife got there, and he was struggling with the disease of addiction, said, I know that I can do it because Linda did it without a drink or a drug. So, that hope, that, so there's never a mistake,
Right.
never a mistake
Yeah.
where you're supposed to be.
Yeah. I had posted, Lori had taken a picture when she went to the Fed Up rally of a picture of my son at the Fed Up rally. And I had posted it on my Facebook page, and a gentleman that I knew from high school said, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. And I said, I'm sorry too, but I have to say, along the way, I have met some really passionate and courageous people. And if it did have to happen, if that was God's plan, thank God. And I do thank God for all these people that I've met along the way and the
The
support that I've
consolation
gotten.
prizes were pretty good.
Yeah.
The consolation prizes were pretty good.
Yeah.
Personally, if I had to choose,
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh,
I
we
wouldn't
all would.
know
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
and that's
yes.
the
Although I
fact.
But if we have to
However,
be here, the fact that we
you know
have
what?
each other is awesome.
we can't
Yeah.
change
Right.
No.
what's happened,
Right.
and I think that was written in the book long
Long
before it
before.
happened.
Yeah.
So
Right.
be faithful
Right.
and know that that's his plan. And we've also accomplished an awful lot for a lot of other people.
Absolutely.
So they live in paradise.
Right.
Let's face
Yeah.
it. Who's in hell?
Right. Yeah.
I think they got the prize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And we will see them soon
Yeah.
enough.
And
Well,
I
hopefully
really,
not soon enough.
I love the fact that, we always talk about how all our angels are working together, by bringing all of us together, brought all our angels together.
Oh, without a doubt.
And it
Without a
just
doubt.
makes it feel so
Sometimes
much
I
more
think they might be
powerful.
sitting with popcorn going, they are complete idiots.
Look at what they're doing now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure of that.
Yeah.
I've often said with some of the things I've done, I think God sits with popcorn and goes, she's crazy.
Yeah.
You got to love that, though.
Yes. He
Why
gave you
did-
free will, hon.
He gave me free will.
Did. Yes.
Thank God she's using it for good.
Yeah, that's all. Thank God she's on the nice side.
Right.
Exactly right.
Aw.
So, anything in closing that you really need to, hope. I think hope.
Yes, yeah.
Hope is
really
our-
hope. And
Hope
that
is our
mantra.
Yeah.
That's really what
and
we
I
wanna-
think it's a testament to an awful lot of things. If we can be hopeful for everyone else, then please stop with the shame and stigma. Just let that go. Don't criticize what you don't know. Don't judge what you don't know.
Right.
Everyone that walks this earth is fighting a battle every single day.
Absolutely.
Somebody that cuts you off may be rushing to get home
Right.
because you don't know why.
Right.
Stop judging. So what? Let it go. Forgive fast. Love hard. Smile often. Laugh. All of those things.
And hug.
And hug.
And
Yes.
hugs.
And hug. A lot of hugs.
A lot of hugs.
So Sunday,
Sunday.
Belmont Lake State Park.
Come and join us.
4:30 in the
Yeah, absolutely.
afternoon
Yeah.
till around 7.
Right. Yeah.
Till around it gets dark.
Yes.
Till they throw us out of there.
Till they throw
Yeah.
us out of
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
and
yeah.
we'll be there. But the showmobile will
right.
be there.
Come.
I think about 35 resource tables
Yep.
of all
That's
different
awesome.
kinds.
That's great.
Certainly children's activities, and Claudia.
Yes. Yeah.
I think a martial arts demonstration.
Oh,
So,
nice.
we have some really fun activities also. And it's
It'll
going to
be
be
a
a great
beautiful
day.
day.
Food, of
Yes.
course, because Anthony Rizzuto, Linda Ventura, Lori it's an Italian thing. You got to have food. You got to feed them. People,
Yes.
they will come.
That's
Exactly.
It.
Feed them, they will come. Italian heroes. So come, enjoy,
Absolutely.
be
Yes,
the
yeah.
light, not the dark.
Right.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next week. We'll see you Sunday, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saturday night.